Hi, I'm Connor Carson. In today's learning module, our team will discuss how you, as a new employee, can develop how others perceive you as trustworthy and build a trusting relationship with your direct supervisor. So what exactly is trust? John Cook and Toby Wall describe it as a willingness to ascribe to good intentions and to have confidence in the words and actions of other people. However, it is important to understand that trust in the workplace can mean much more than simply being reliable. The 9 characteristics of trustworthiness include competence, reliability, professionalism, communication, transparency, caring, fairness, and integrity.
However, we are going to focus on the 3 key characteristics that are most essential. These 3 key characteristics are communication, reliability, and professionalism. Many of us are in our final year of our degrees here at Dalhousie and are preparing to join the workforce and begin our careers. Whether we are beginning our first full-time job or securing an internship position, this video will help you to understand the most complex perception of trust in the workplace and the key characteristic of fostering a trust relationship with a supervisor or managers as a new employee. So our objective is to demonstrate that each of these characteristics can be developed in a number of ways to improve other perceptions of your trustworthiness. For example, reliability means much more than meeting deadlines. It can mean taking the initiative to complete a task not assigned by your supervisor. Just like communication and professionalism can go way beyond using company jargon and writing appropriate business emails. It can mean making yourself accessible and approachable to colleagues. This video will show you how important each characteristic are and demonstrate how you, as a new employee, can build a relationship of trust with your direct supervisor.
Merriam-Webster defines communication as an act or instance of transmitting. So, in our context, we are making the assumption that communication is an act of transmitting or conveying information. Communication is important because it allows people to understand each other and build trust. Any interaction between you and your coworker and/or supervisors require professional communication. This means that you are careful with wording and desired outcome of the message. Basically, you do not want to offend the person you are communicating with. An article from CareerStep gives advice on how to communicate professionally at the workplace. One of the advice is to be simple in your speech. Trying to be knowledgeable by using fancy language can come across as fake and ineffective. Also, another advice is to be direct. For example, if you need a day off to go pick up family members at the airport, it is better to say, "May I take a day off on this day to pick up my relatives at the airport," than to ask being very passive, apologizing a lot, and trying to tug heartstrings. Therefore, communicating in a professional manner is very important. Communication is one of the elements of what makes a person trustworthy. Communication in this aspect asks the question, am I accessible, willing to share information freely, and open to others' opinions? In Chapter 3 of the textbook Management Skills for Everyday Life by Paula Caproni, Building Trust, it is suggested that a person communicate by being accessible, being willing to share information, and giving explanations for decisions to build trust. Communication is also important because open communication allows the asking of questions, and without an effective line of communication, unfortunate situations may arise. To demonstrate this, we have an example of ineffective and unprofessional communication, and the other way around, effective and professional communication.
Oh man, I'm so confused. I think the last time I used it was like years ago.
Hey John, how's the assignment going?
It's not bad. It's going really good. See? It's going really well.
Awesome. Let me know if you have any problems.
Yeah, sure. No problem. See ya.
Did you see what happened there? Because of a lack of willingness to communicate with his boss or ask questions, John's work suffered and deadlines weren't met. When this happens, it affects the supervisor's trust in you. They need to understand that you'll ask questions and be open with them to get the job done right the first time. Here's one way John could have handled this situation.
Oh man, I'm so confused. I don't know how to do this.
Hey John, how's the assignment going?
Boss, actually, I might need some help on that. So if that's okay with you?
Absolutely. Let's take a look at where you're having trouble.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not really clear about the spreadsheet. Like, over here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, here's how you do it.
You see, that situation was handled a lot better, and that will definitely lead to the boss trusting him a lot more. As a new employee, communicating with your supervisor can be intimidating, but it's important that you foster an open dialogue with them. It'll go a long way in gaining their trust in you. The next principle of trust we'll talk about is reliability. If you ever hope to gain the trust of your direct supervisor in a corporate environment, then you'll have to be a reliable worker at all times. Susan Steinbrecher, the CEO of Steinbrecher & Co., wrote that in her opinion, reliability is the most important characteristic in trustworthiness. She said that people want to see consistent, positive behavior in the people that they trust. Affirmative actions and smart decisions make a huge difference in the eyes of others. Reliability means more than just meeting deadlines, though. It means offering up quality work and exceeding expectations consistently, taking on new tasks that need to be complete, and following through on any commitments. A manager needs efficient workers who are always able to stay on top of their requirements and provide good quality work. Supervisors need to be able to rely on their employees and not feel the need to constantly supervise them or look over their neck. Focusing on reliability can be an important piece to developing a trusting relationship with your supervisor.
Reliability is a key component of work performance. It is one of those qualities that is either present or absent. You cannot be partially reliable or even mostly reliable. To be reliable, it means to be consistent, regardless of the extra amount of effort that it takes. Here's something you can do to assess your reliability at work. For each of the questions listed on the screen, consider: who did my behavior impact? How can I consistently continue this positive behavior? Or how can I change this negative behavior? So name a time recently when you went out of your way to demonstrate reliability. Who benefited from your efforts, and how can you continue this positive behavior? Have there been times in the past 3 months when you did not deliver as you promised? Who did your behavior impact, and how can you do better in the future? Do you know what your reputation is as far as reliability is concerned? Do others believe they can count on you consistently? Is there anything you can do to assure them that they can count on you consistently? Repeatedly being trusted to get the job done right the first time often correlates to reliability. In the past 3 months, how often were you considered the go-to person to get it done right the first time? Has your supervisor stopped requesting you to do a particular task? Could this be related to your reliability? Do others seem to have confidence in your ability to deliver? When someone asks you to complete a task, do they then let go and assume that you will take care of it? Producing quality work with consistency is part of reliability. Prior to saying your work is finished, do you take the extra time to make sure that it is truly the best you could do for the task you were assigned? Now reflect on your answers to these questions and see how you can use them to improve your reliability. Next, in the following scene, we will demonstrate what reliability can look like in the workplace.
Chelsea's boss entrusted her with running a networking event for some of the executives in their company in a month's time. She was required to handle a number of tasks. Chelsea immediately allocated time for weekly updates with her supervisor and sent the meeting request to her boss. She also encountered an issue with a food vendor, but searched out the help of another employee who had run similar events for assistance in finding a new one. With John's help, she was able to contract a new food vendor and get the event back on track. The event was a success. Her supervisor needed very little supervision of Chelsea. He did not have to track her down for updates and was not bothered by the vendor issue. Instead, Chelsea problem solved that herself. Chelsea's boss has developed a trust in her work. He knows he can count on Chelsea to work independently and get the job done. This is a great example of reliability, meaning more than just meeting deadlines.
Professionalism is a key factor in trustworthiness. No matter what the communication style is, staying professional shows employers that you are someone they can rely on. Donna Sporovic, in her article Professionalism in the Workplace, defines professionalism as how you conduct yourself in the workplace. It is an individual style of actions that is exhibited in their behavior. There are many attributes of professionalism, but today we'll be focusing on attitude. In regards to the question, how to gain your direct supervisor's trust in the corporate environment as a new employee, your attitude and how you deal with conflict will prove to your boss that you are a capable employee. Employees can demonstrate their professional behavior by staying positive, regardless of the situation. Things do not always go your way in the workforce, and staying positive and on track shows that you're truly professional. It is important to be able to accept feedback and criticism from not only your boss but other coworkers. Showing your boss that you can grow from conflicts and/or mistakes means that you can be trusted, and are committed to your work and will not make the same mistake twice.
Professionalism sure is one of the most important principles of trust. Now we're going to watch a video showing a very unprofessional character.
Hey Graham, we've had some complaints from the marketing department that your work hasn't been reviewed and there's been a lot of mistakes, and this really makes your job really difficult. I think this is something you need to work on right away.
Okay, great, thanks. I can't believe those jerks in marketing complained about my work. I like to see them meet our deadlines. Our work is so much harder than theirs.
Yeah, those guys really grind my gears.
Graham handled this situation very unprofessionally. When he gossiped to Chelsea and spoke poorly of the other coworkers, he was both being rude and unprofessional. And to make it even worse, he also refused to accept the feedback his boss gave him and decided not to improve upon his mistake. Instead of making an effort to grow from his mistake, he had a poor attitude and lashed out at others. Here's a great example of how he could have handled the situation.
Hey Graham, we've had some complaints from the marketing department that your work hasn't been reviewed and there's been a lot of mistakes, and this really makes your job really difficult. I think this is something you need to work on right away.
Okay, great, thanks. Hey, I heard there was some problems with my work, so first of all, I'm sorry, and second of all, could you show me what went wrong?
Absolutely, man. I really appreciate you coming by. Let me show you what's wrong.
Graham acknowledging his mistake and taking the initiative to meet with marketing and find out what went wrong shows very professional behavior. He accepted the feedback he was given and made an effort to better himself. His boss can now definitely trust that if there's an issue, Graham will make the effort to make it right. Workers like Graham make me so proud.
So in conclusion, as you can see, reliability, communication, and professionalism can go a long way to building trust between yourself as a new employee and your supervisor. It is important to understand that there are many actions that can help develop how others perceive you as trustworthy. It's essential to consider the three key characteristics of reliability, communication, and professionalism beyond their conventional definitions. Communication means being accessible, open to feedback, and willing to share opinions. Reliability means providing timely, quality work and going above and beyond with little supervision. Professionalism means maintaining a positive attitude and accepting and growing from feedback and criticism. Finally, the goal of this training module was to demonstrate how trusting relationships between yourself and your superiors can be developed through a number of actions. As a new employee, it is important that you focus on these three key characteristics in order to succeed in creating trusting relationships. An excellent way to measure your development in regards to how others perceive you as trustworthy is to utilize this survey from Chapter 3 of the text, Management Skills for Everyday Life by Paulo Caproni. This survey evaluates your trustworthiness based on 9 characteristics which we discussed earlier in our presentation. So feel free to try the survey at the end of this video, track your score, and after some time at your new job, focusing on the 3 characteristics of communication, reliability, and professionalism, and their more unconventional definitions, which we discussed earlier, take the test again and see if you've become perceived as more trustworthy in your workplace. Thanks for watching, and good luck building trusting relationships in the workplace.